Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 4 of my full platinum walkthrough for Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. Whew. Right, we're going to a pirate place. No Man's Wharf is where we're going to next. If this is the first video that you are watching of these, then you can check out the first video, which will be in the top corner now. In that one, at the beginning of that one, I break down exactly what we're doing and what to expect from this walkthrough. We're going through the whole of Dark Souls 2, getting the platinum trophy. That involves 2.5 playthroughs. The latter two will be speed runs, but for this first one we're getting every other trophy done. So walk back to No Man's Wharf where we left off at the end of the previous video, and yeah, there's your pirate ship, and on we go. So this place is quite dark, as you can see. It's actually quite a small place. You don't really travel much, you sort of go in between buildings more than anything. But yeah, be aware of a lot of things trying to sneak up on you. So you're going to see in a moment, where is he? Here on the right hand side, you can see him just hanging off there. There's lots of that going on here. So enemies will appear from nowhere, or you think they've appeared from nowhere, but they are actually hiding. So here he is, he's coming up behind me there now. So we have a kind of a new enemy here now. These are a bit tougher than normal ones, but they are essentially just sort of normal enemies, just a bit bigger and stronger. And we have just normal kind of squishy at this point ones that you can hit with 2 hits and kill them. We'll go up there in a moment. We're just going to have a look around this way and get items and things like that. Of course, in the top corner, as usual, is the sort of item counter, so to speak, so you can see what we're doing. If you are in human form, feel free to summon Bradley. He can help with this area. I'm not going to do it, so in case you can't summon him, then it's not really fair for me to do it, because it will be a lot easier for me, and I'll show you where everything is, all the enemies are, how to beat all the enemies on your own. But if you are human, then feel free to summon him. I wouldn't become human to necessarily to summon him. You want to really be saving your human effigies. We will be using one at the end of the video, because we have to summon somebody. It's important for us to get the second summon of this area. So if you think you can make it through here and not die again, then maybe make a backup save at the start and do that. Use a human effigy, summon this guy at the start here to help you with the actual area, and then we'll do the other one at the end for the boss fight. Yeah, so it's up to you, but he is there if you want his help. Right, so yeah, it's quite dark. There's a bridge ahead of me there. That's our shortcut, which we can cut all of this area out later on. But we have to do the rest of it and wait for somebody to stand up there if you're wondering what I'm doing. Yeah, we're going to go around. The main reasons for doing this area. This is a side area. We don't need to ever come back here in any of the other playthroughs. There's a miracle here. There's a pyromancy here. There is a, I don't want to say wizard, but you know what I mean, sorcerer, that's the word I'm looking for, who we need to send back to Majula. He's there. He also sells sorceries, of course. He's not going to speak to us this time around because we need Intelligence 8. If you have Intelligence 8, he will speak to you, but we won't have it. That's where the other 2 guys came from that came behind me before. If you do have it, then great, he will talk to you and he'll go back to Majula. Don't worry about it, us not having it. We will come back for him, but I'll show you where he is now, of course. But yeah, it's not. If you're not using spells, it doesn't really matter at this point. So we've got to go ground floor. There's the bridge. So there's going to be the shortcut. That is literally the end of the area once you go across that bridge. But of course, we have to go all the way around to open that up. Yeah, so watch out for just enemies dropping on you, and just take it slow and try and get up the path there. There's a dog. There he is. I thought it comes out the room. That is not the case. Dogs are actually quite good. I usually hate dogs in Dark Souls and just most games, to be honest. They're actually not that bad in this game. They're not overused or anything, so there's only the occasional 1 or 2 really. Right, so this is Lucatiel. Very important you speak to her. Exhaust her dialogue. Very, very important you speak to her. So yeah, speak to her until she starts repeating herself. She is going to be the second summon for this area. We need to summon her for the boss fight of this area, the Flexile Sentry. and she needs to survive as well. We need her to survive 3 boss fights. You can summon her to 4. I believe it's 4 with her. And once she's survived 3, should I say, near the end of the game, you can speak to her again, and she will give you her gear, so to speak, and you will get a trophy. So it is for a trophy that you need to summon her. The cart's there, if you're wondering. We're going to go there in a moment. We're just going to go over the top way and drop down. And we're actually going to use a forest lockstone. So this is where we've just come from. Just going to check in here. I don't think there is anything up here. No, there isn't, is there? It's kind of a trick room. It's one of the only buildings without anything in. So yeah, make sure you speak to Lucatiel. We will be seeing her a few times. She is helpful as well. But yeah, she's summoned at the end. You can't summon her yet. Another dog coming through here. And we've got another enemy type coming up. Dark Stalker, something like that, I think they're called. Oh, bit of a frame rate drop there. I'm not quite sure what that was. I think they're called Dark Stalker, something like that. It'll make sense when you see them. We can actually kind of remove them from the area, which is what I will do, and it is up to you whether you do it. Which we'll do in a moment using a forest lockstone. Forest, whatever you say, lockstone. So here they are. They do inflict bleed damage. You can see their bleed is kind of building up in the middle of the screen there. It's not all the way. It's kind of like poison. If the bar fills up, you take damage over time. They are fairly easy on their own. If you go round the back of them, you can actually backstab. I can't get behind this one. They are slow, and their hits can actually surprisingly miss you a lot of time, especially if you're just slightly above them or below them, should I say. So I am actually bleeding here, and it's not really doing anything. I think my health's actually going up. So yeah, it wasn't actually doing anything there. But we're going to make them disappear. They are afraid of light. So we'll light this whole area up, which will actually make it easier for us to see as well. He missed. I don't know how I didn't block that, but never mind. Yep, still got my ring on, so I'm getting health over time, which does help. There's 2 guys in this room to the left. Running into this room is suicide, but I do it in a minute because I get bored of waiting. If you can kind of get them to come out and then follow you back here, that is going to help you a lot. But I'm just going to go for it, and it was probably the wrong choice. Almost the wrong choice. I don't know how... That was close. I don't know how we got that combo off there. I'm sure I had my shield up. I was not ready for that. Anyway. Yeah, ignore the archer and go straight into the room and then deal with the archer afterwards. Don't run down to the archer, you'll get trapped. Repair powder, very important. This is one of the longer areas. There is only one bonfire. It's right at the start, so you're not going to be able to sit and repair. This gate, remember this gate, I'll show you that later on the other side. It is locked now. Yeah, so repair powder, you're probably going to need to use one, but you can also just run back to the bonfire and run through again if you want to. I'll give you that option. I'll show you how to do it, sort of when your weapon will start to become at risk. So when you can get a backstab on any of these that are just kind of sitting there, make sure you do that. And we're going to go around here, get some trousers, gauntlets, basically the whole armor set of the Brigand, and an axe. Not something I'll wear, but maybe you will. Who knows? Using the gems more as well. I save Estus Flask for boss fights or more dangerous enemies, like I've said in the past. If this is close as well. As I said, dogs aren't really a problem. I don't remember them being that many of them being here. Yeah, when you've got a moment, I would definitely recommend using life gems over Estus Flask. Obviously with the quicker healing of the Estus Flask in a pinch. So here I'm going to use this Forest Lockstone. You should have one. We have collected 2 and only used 1. And there you go. It's going to light up this whole area. Oh, that's much better. And the big enemies, the big Dark Lurker. No, Dark Lurker's a boss. I can't remember what they're called. They're scared of light, so they won't come after you and try and surprise you. again, I don't think I've mentioned, and I don't think I need to mention this, but if you die, you lose your souls, yes, but you can go back and get them. I feel like I've mentioned, I should have mentioned, I should know that. I just got this niggling feeling that I haven't said that in the guide right at the start, but I think you kind of know that already. But yeah, this is video 4, and I'm mentioning that now. Well, there you go. So yeah, you can see the dark beasts weren't coming after me. They usually would. Make sure you pick this up. This is Emit Force. That is a miracle. We need that for a trophy. We need all miracles. We can actually purchase Emit Force later on, so it's not too bad. But yeah, might as well get it for free while we can. You can see they kind of run away from you, try and get you into the dark. But that's not much fun. There you go. You can backstab them, which is weird. You wouldn't think you'd be able to, but you can. There's a couple in here. A couple of them in here. There's actually 3, 4 of them in here. If you don't want to take care of 4 of these guys in the dark and aren't bothered about 2 silver talisman and a greatsword, then don't come in here. Yeah, you don't need silver talismans or greatsword, really. I mean, you might want to play with the greatsword, I don't know. But silver talismans are kind of useless. They're supposed to be like camouflage. It only really works against other players, and we're not doing any of that. So, if you don't want to fight some more of these, then don't bother with this. I'll show you. I can't get through to the back of it. There we go. You'd think they'd hit a lot harder, but they kind of don't. They seem to miss more often than they do hit. A bit more intimidating than they actually are, I think. There is one. I'm waiting. I'm not just stood around. There is one above. You can see there's a hole in the floor. He's kind of moving around. He will drop on you. I was going to get fed up and just go after him, but he drops down. There he is. Perfect position. Wait for him to get up a little bit and then go for the attack again. And then there's one more upstairs. Easy peasy. And then there's 2 chests in the next room. One contains 2 silver talisman. One is the greatsword. The one with the silver talisman in is trap. It will be poison more than likely, so watch out for the hole there. Go through the door. And then this far one here, the wooden one, is going to be a trap. So you will probably get hit by it, but it's not a problem, don't worry. The poison bar has not gone all the way up. If you just dodge away, just get the hell away and stay away. Let the poison dissipate, you'll be fine. And great sword here if you want that. Like I said, you don't need either of these, but there they are if you want them. And we'll continue on and summon the pirate ship. For some reason I thought there was something in there, but there isn't. It's complete dead. I know it's a dead end. Right, up we go. 2 of these guys should be fairly straightforward. They've not got the shield, so kill them quite easily. And then up here, and there's going to be a switch which is going to summon the pirate ship to come and get us, and that's where the boss for this area is, the Flexile Sentry, which is kind of a pointless boss. Like in the very next video we're going to be fighting a Flexile Sentry as a main enemy, just a regular enemy. So yeah, hit that switch and the pirate ship will sort of come towards you and dock, and you'll be able to get onto it, but we're not going to go straight onto it just yet. Just going to get a few extra bits, a couple of secret areas. So yeah, watch out this guy here, and then there's going to be one that will come after you. Looks like kind of like a rat. Just watch out for him. Yep, use another stone. Keep the repair powder ready. You can see I'm nearly out on the sword there. It is going to become at risk in a moment. While I'm fighting these 2, running into this room is just not advised. I mean, you can drop in if you go. You can go to the upstairs of this building. I'll get it out in a minute. Without dropping all the way down. I'll show you in a minute when we go upstairs. Literally, all that's in here is 10 fire arrows. So do not come in here and do this, because this was stupid. Yeah, see, it says there, fire longsword at risk. It is almost broken. Don't worry if a weapon does break, you can get it fixed. you have to go to one of the smiths and get that done. Repair powder won't work anymore. So I'm going to use repair powder now. And when a weapon does break, it does still work, but it does drastically reduce damage. So yeah, if you want, either use repair powder if you want to keep hold of repair powder for more of an emergency situation, then just switch to a different weapon for a moment. So yeah, you could have just dropped down there and then gone in through that door and done it that way. That probably would have been the quicker and easier way, to be honest. We are going to open this shortcut up in a moment. So if you think you can get there, which you can, there's just one more enemy. Like, you don't have to come and kill this guy, but I'm just showing you he is there. He might follow you. There is one more enemy before you in the shortcut. So if you want to sit down at the bonfire and restart the area, so to speak, or respawn all the enemies, you will skip most of the enemies because the shortcut will be open. So if you want to do it that way, you can. You can just skip this guy because of the light, and then this guy will come after you as well. So that's the one enemy that will chase after you. You can ignore the other one. And then we'll go and open the shortcut just before we finish off, which is this bridge here. Watch out for the guy down there if you drop into the water. That's why I've left that item for now. Here's another one that will follow you, but it's just a little grunt. He's fine. And then kick this down and he'll be back at the start. So where that first summon was, or is still, that's where we are. So you can run back to the bonfire, sit down, restart the area and refresh if you want. But if you want to not do that, then use repair powder. We will pick up another one, at least, repair powder in this video. There's human effigy if you need one. Like, you see that big list in the top corner there. Yeah, we're going to a secret area that is full of stuff. So that's why the list is there. So yeah, be aware with this bit here, if you haven't lit the torch with the forest stone, those two will sort of get you in a pincer maneuver. So watch out for that. And then in here is the secret area. So these jars, don't just go swinging your sword around. These jars are full of poison. You will get poisoned if you break one of these jars. So that's why I'm drawing this guy away here. Let him come to me. We'll get him. There we go. So yes, there is actually a secret area here. We'll get that in a moment. But this chest here has a fragrant branch of Yore in it, so we definitely need that. And then you can see that wall on the left hand side there is a bit dubious. There's a bit something to it. So if you hit it with a strong attack, straight away goes straight through, and there's a crystal lizard. So kill that quickly. Get the Titanite from him, and then just pick everything else up. It's just souls, and there's a fading soul, and there's the normal nameless soldier soul, and then in here is a ring, the Royal Soldier's Ring, which reduces weapon, or increases weapon durability will be the right way to say it. So a handy ring, not one I use really myself. So what I'm trying to do here, this does not work at all. I've never actually tried this. Usually I would just hit the pot, take the poison, and just heal through it. What I'm trying to do is see if bow and arrow breaks these pots, and the answer is no. We don't have the dexterity to use a bow and arrow properly, so I thought I'd just check it anyway. You can still use a bow and arrow without the proper dexterity, but it doesn't break the pots. So forget about that, and we'll just switch back. So remove it as well, because I will be overweight carrying that bow. So get rid of that. So you're going to see here, I'm going to hit this, and there's no way around it unless you have a really long weapon to not take that poison. It's very slow. So you can see it's not very slow. It's quite slow. It's quite quick, but it'll wear off. I don't know where he just came from. It'll wear off pretty quickly. So I'm using a Lifegem to fight it, and it's winning. So yeah, it'll be fine. Now there's actually a second secret area here. I completely forgot to do it because I was concentrating on the poison. There's literally a sign showing me. So that wall directly ahead underneath the stairs is another secret area. So if you go and do that and go underneath the stairs and open that up, you'll I think there's a large Titanite Shard in there. There's nothing important there, so it's not too bad. But yeah, there's like a large Titanite Shard and maybe fire bombs, I want to say. So yeah, grab them. This guy here is Gavlan. He's somebody you can sell stuff to. I think he's the only person in the game you can sell stuff to. But don't. I mean, look how you don't get anything with regards to souls, really. So don't sell anything to him. But you can buy certain things. Poison stuff mostly. But yeah, he moves around. We'll see him a few other times. And then this is the other shortcut from before. The gate that I showed you. And that's all opened up now. So we are ready to get the hell out of here. That's this area done. We don't ever need to do this. We need to come back and speak to a guy later on. I thought I saw something then, but it wasn't. So we will be back here briefly just to get Carillion, who I'm going to speak to quickly now. Show you where he is at least. Yeah, don't fall in the water here. You will drown. This guy, he's going to basically ignore us because we're not high enough. So just speak to him. Well, you don't need to. If your intelligence is 8 or higher, then speak to him. And you'll go back to Majula. Don't worry about it, we'll be back for him later. Why is he not woken up? I don't know why he hadn't seen me yet. I spotted him weirdly, he's just hanging out there. I think he was going to stay there. Anyway, we're going to do the boss, so make a backup save. Before you do this, you need Lucatiel to survive. So this is very important to do a backup save here. This is Lucatiel. We need her to survive this boss fight. So I'm not actually going to sort. What I'm going to do for a bit of fun is get both of them in on the fight. I probably wouldn't recommend doing this because every time you bring a summon in, it increases the boss's health a bit. So bringing 2 in increases it twice. So it's not the best, but I thought it'd be fun to do. So I went and got Bradley first because I didn't want Lucatiel to fall in the water and die. But they will, if you leave them to it, and I kind of have to at the end because my sword nearly runs out of durability again. They will kill the boss on their own between them. You can just sit back. It's not a difficult boss at all. Maybe if you're on your own it can be quite difficult, but it's a bit of a strange one. It's an amalgam of sort of 2. It's like a Siamese twin. You're not allowed to call them that, and a conjoined twin. You're not allowed to call them Siamese twins anymore, are you? It's one of those, and they basically, if you go behind them, there's another one there. So there is no safe spot. You have to sort of hit them from the side. But if you have a summon with you, like I do, then they are just going to take one side and you take the other. These guys we'll be seeing later on in Lost Bastille. This way, this place as well, eventually once we're going to set sail on this ship, is going to take us another way into Lost Bastille. So if you remember, once we beat the Pursuer, we took the Crow in the nest. We got dropped off in a place that was Lost Bastille. This is another way into that, so there's kind of 2 ways in. And that's where we're going to end up eventually. But once we beat this boss, we will get the Pyromancy Flame as well. So there is a few reasons for actually doing this just once, though. So once we're all ready, go in. There you can see they're sort of stuck together, joined at the hip. Only one can attack at a time, though. So if this one's attacking me, the person on the opposite side is safe to hit. So now the sword guy is hitting, and he kind of hits from the side, so watch out. You can hit the ones with the sort of clubs, but I just sort of stay in the middle anyway. So yeah, that one's safe, because that one's using the swords. You can definitely just hit from the back and you'll be fine. And you can see how little damage we're actually doing to this thing. That's because there is 3 of us here. But it's actually a good job I had both of them, because my weapon is about to break. So I'll let them finish off. And they do a pretty decent job. Just as long as Lucatiel survives, that's all you need out of this. Lucatiel seems to do a lot more damage than Bradley does, that's for sure. Whenever she hits, there's a yellow chunk. It goes down a yellow amount. When Bradley hits, not so much. It's just a little bit of chip damage almost. So yes, I could use another repair powder and just get in there, but it's not worth it. If you're in the same sort of situation as me, just let them finish it off between them. You can see they're going to have more than half health each still. There we go. Simple enough. So they will now disappear. That is their job done, and we'll get the Flexile Sentry soul. Don't use it, just leave it for now. And that's this area pretty much done. We're just going to set sail and light the bonfire in the opposite side of Lost Bastille. And yeah, we're just going to do some bit of leveling, and that will be it. So Pyromancy, Flame and Fireball in this chest here. If this was Dark Souls 1, I would grab this Pyromancy Flame, equip it, and fully upgrade it. But Pyromancies just don't seem to be as good in this game, which is quite disappointing because I really do like using them in the first one. But unfortunately, they're not the best, so I'm just going to stick with what we have. But if you want to experiment with it, go for it. There is no limit to what you can do in this one. There's no restriction trophy-wise or anything. So if you want to go for a Sorcerer or a Pyromancy build, then try it out, then yep, just go for it. You can, remember, you can reset your stats using a soul vessel, but only as many soul vessels as you have, so remember that as well. We will be picking more of them up. Should have a handful of them, so you can switch around if you want. Yeah, I got lucky there. I don't think backstabs take up durability on weapons. Yeah, I don't think they do, so you should be okay with a backstab. Very close to my sword breaking, but that's the only two other enemies. I could have left them and just got in the lift, but I can't. No, you have to kill them. So you will have seen that item as we were coming up the lift there. I'm actually going to go and get that. It is repair powder, so you obviously know how important that stuff is from what's just gone on. And the way to get it is to send the lift back down and jump on top of it. Obviously do it pretty quickly. You don't want to drop on top of it from the height. So a bit of a tedious bit, this bit. And then you get a Scimitar in there as well, which is a curved sword. And there we go. And then obviously take the lift back up and then into the prison cells of the Lost Bastille. And that's where the next video will take place, in the Lost Bastille. We'll finally do that. We're going to be doing a little bit of an extra area at the back end of that as well. So we're probably going to be, well, not probably, we will be fighting 3 bosses in the next video. Well, technically, a lot more than 3, to be honest. So, yeah, the first bosses we're going to fight, there's actually 3 of them. And then the second boss, there's just 1. And then the third boss, there's 5 of them. Gargoyles. Anyway, they're all very straightforward, so don't worry, we will have summons with us as well. So yeah, don't worry, it sounds a lot worse than it actually is. We won't get ganged up on, so don't worry. So yeah, I'm going to just tack that little area. It's a very, very short area. There's literally just a boss there. It's just kind of a secret area as well. It's not something you'd need a forest lockstone to actually access it. And that will be the next one. So for now, I'm just going to go back and do some leveling. So back to Majula. Had I actually remembered to run under those stairs and grab that secret area, I would have enough large Titanite shards to actually do what I want to do here. Which is, I'm going to go and check if I could actually upgrade the sword. Which is something I could, I think I've got 1, I need 2. Yeah, I need 2, I've got 1. So had I have picked that up, I could have done that. So if you did, and you do have 2, then use 2 large Titanite to upgrade your weapon. But apart from that, just go and do some leveling. So you're going to think, why am I doing so much faith and intelligence? I'm going to put a couple of intelligence here, because we do need 8 eventually. Putting into intelligence and faith is still actually a good idea, because your resistances go up. Fire, lightning and dark between the 2 of them. And that is actually very helpful. So it's not just a waste. And then the rest just distribute evenly across the normal ones. And yeah, that's it for this video. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.